In 2024, on Kendrick Lamar's Billboard-topping album GNX, he set the internet on fire when he mentioned Snoop Dogg's name. The bars from the opening track whacked out murals, though brief, would express the sentiments of a long history displayed by Snoop Dogg of playing both sides.
Snoop was just a little more diplomatic with it. Okay, if I can get past it, I get by. I have an excuse of why I done it.
Changing tunes and even sometimes flat out lying on colleagues who otherwise would have thought they were in good terms with the Long Beach legend.
Snoop's lie. From
Tupac to Eminem to even Dave Blunt's.
I ain't perfect, I'm Snoop Dogg.
Time and time again, Snoop's actions would portray what some would call a hood politician.
Man, Snoop is a politician, and he's trying to rewrite history every chance he get.
Who has mastered the art of fence sitting. In this video, we will take a look at Snoop Dogg's complex history of playing two sides. When Tupac was locked up, there was a moment where the world was just observing his situation, but no one was coming to the rescue. Jimmy Iovine's hands was tied because he reportedly wanted to bail out Tupac. The corporations did not want to bail out Tupac because of the SA charges that were attached to his name. One strategy that was mentioned was bailing Tupac out through Death Row, which was a subsidiary of Interscope at the time. One of the helpful factors was Snoop Dogg, who told Suge Knight he should bail out Tupac.
Snoop Dogg is the reason why Tupac was on Death Row Records.
Talk about it.
Well, I told Suge, I'm like, after we did the Source Awards, because we did the Source Awards and we had a Tupac cut up. So I told Suge, I'm like, I'm hearing stories about Cuz in jail. So you need to go get him and bring him with us. Because he need to be with us. He like our kind of nigga, he my friend. Suge didn't know Cuz, he was my friend.
Right.
So Suge went and cut the deal and got him out, and who did he come to when he got out? He came to me and Daz.
Then you hear the famous story of Suge signing Tupac to a contract on what was wrote on a napkin. This story was never really confirmed, though some mentioned that Tupac was never really signed to Death Row and everything was done under contract with Interscope. That's not the point of this video, but it's clear that Snoop at least openly was not against Tupac coming to the Death Row roster. He himself proclaimed that he played a major part in Tupac getting signed to Death Row. Daryl Harper, a producer under the Death Row umbrella, did not deny this was the case. But what was clear is that at some point, there seemed to be a serious problem with Tupac being a member of Death Row, which was probably due to some sort of jealousy.
Watched a few of his interviews where he said, hey man, I went to Suge and told him to bring Cuz over here. I believe he did. But I also believe, I gotta say, I think he brought him over there to be his Robin. I didn't think he was gonna come there. I didn't think he thought he was gonna come there and become Batman. I believe he became the #1, and Snoop thought that he would be his good sidekick, like his #2 guy. You know, like this would be a good 1-2 punch. And in no time, Pac got there and became #1. That's what he wasn't second to nobody.
Snoop claims he wanted no parts of the East and West Coast beef that was bad for business. There's some truth to that on the surface, but when you look a little deeper, this becomes very suspect. While Tupac was in jail, Snoop had his own beef with the East going on that went back to the infamous 1995 Source Awards.
Love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row? Y'all don't love us? Y'all don't love us? Well, let it be known then. We know y'all East Coast. We know we at.
It didn't stop there. While Snoop and the Dogg Pound performed the New York video out in New York City, Biggie went on the radio and informed other New Yorkers that Snoop was in town shooting a video talking bad about New York.
Shoot at you at the Dogg Pound video in New York?
Biggie called the shot.
Allegedly.
No, he did.
Allegedly.
He did.
Okay.
I heard it with my own 2 ears. I got a great memory.
Till this day, Snoop claims that the video was out of respect.
We went to go see Folk Master Flex early that day, and he shined on us. We was going to the radio station to do this. Yo, New York, DPG, we here shooting a video. We need all you New York rappers to come with us, because we love y'all. We shooting a video at Times Square. We shooting at Red Hooks. Come get down with us. That's what we was coming to do. The fuck?
But whatever the case was, someone went and shot up the trailer which Snoop was in at the time, and it was reported that Snoop and the Dog Pound could have been hit.
I got a call from Daz at that point. We out of here, they tried to kill us.
So when Tupac got out of jail, he figured it was best if they combined their beef since Death Row already had beef going on with the East. According to Napoleon from the Outlaws, Snoop himself was gassing up Tupac to attack East Coast rappers after being shot at.
I wasn't into no controversy. I liked them niggas' music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. There's video footage of all of us hanging out. Pac, Biggie, Puff, Suge, all of us.
Biggie got on the radio and told people to shoot up his trailer. So, you know, this whole thing that, you know, me and Biggie have always been friends, you know, that cannot be true because Biggie said these dudes is here doing a video shoot, go handle it. They shot up his trailer.
Then came the infamous Hit 'Em Up track. Publicly, years later, Snoop Dogg was defiant that he was not a fan of the song, saying it created more separation than unity.
Even when he played Hit 'Em Up the song, I didn't like the song.
Did you feel like it was
I didn't
too
like
much?
it.
Right.
No, that don't sound right. I don't believe that.
When Tupac was performing at the House of Blues and he dissed Biggie on stage, I think Snoop Dogg was in the background like laughing and cheering it on.
Look at him on the stage at the House of Blues.
I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like the shit. Like, it wasn't like the shit to me. Like, it was buying more problems, cuz.
There was an issue with this. Snoop secretly had his own diss track lined up for Biggie Smalls.
He cannot make it seem like Pac is the one who made him react in a negative way. Snoop went back and started making diss songs against Biggie.
Back like Return of the Jedi. Nigga, don't say shit cause I already said I be on the red eye. You're fat, you're black, you're whack, your style is toe up, plus you got one dead eye.
From the outside, Snoop seemed to be a major figure in the East Coast, West Coast rivalry. Now, when Tupac dropped one of the biggest diss songs ever in the history of rap, Snoop didn't want no parts of it. And not only did he not entertain the East versus West beef, he switched sides.
That's good. Cool? No, I'm straight. I can share with dogs.
While Pac was in New York campaigning for Death Row, Snoop was speaking with Bad Boy, siding with him.
You believe in God?
Certainly.
Believe in Death Row East. Believe in that, for real. That's it right there. But if you believe in God, believe in Death Row East.
Shit had happened. New York niggas that shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst shit you could think of. And I forgave them. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like them niggas, I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed cuz the wrong way, like, nigga, them niggas. Them niggas tried to kill me. Niggas shot at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with them niggas?
They like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion.
Even in this infamous video of Tupac's MTV interview, you can see it on Snoop's face. He was already on the other side.
Not even on no, you know, we coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with.
His trip back on the private jet was one for the books, out of his own mouth.
Hoping one of them come with me so I could stab out everybody on this mother.
From Bad Boy's perspective, they were already in tune with West Coast Crips by the way of Keefy D. The only thing standing in the way between them and Tupac was the Long Beach Crip. Snoop's maneuvers in New York City may have been the final confirmation they needed to set off a green light. Tupac was now a walking dead man.
I was told by another one of our security guards that was a bodyguard that he had escorted Pac to the airplane as they were leaving New York. And Tupac told him, specifically told him, that he was a dead man walking.
And I guess you said that Puffy called and said, was that us? And you didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Yeah, you're right. I said I was just going to get some bread from Puff to get us some guns because they kept on raiding our houses, taking our guns.
Do you feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody fucking else. You know what I'm saying? She like, man, you need to come to New York. I swear we'll repay you. I've been waiting on that repay for a long time, bro.
In New York City, Biggie could have gotten Snoop killed, but the dog showed he'd rather connect with the people that tried to kill him rather than be on Tupac's side, who was repping for the West. This move in particular goes against West Coast code in every way. But tension between Tupac and Snoop occurred before the MTV Movie Awards.
I do recall there was a time when I was going down the hallway, Suge and Pac were talking in the hallway. They would just look like finalizing a conversation. And I don't know what was said before, but I do know that Suge said, but man, be respectful. This is the house that Snoop built. And so whatever the dialogue was before that, I don't know. I wasn't privy to that. But I remember him saying, yeah, but be respectful, man. This is the house that Snoop built.
No one can pinpoint the exact moment that hatred began to reign, but there was a moment before a scheduled Roseanne Barr show appearance where it was clear the friendship, if any, was on the decline.
That beef between Pac and Snoop happened before New York.
And this decline would continue even past the grave when Tupac was killed in Vegas. Afterwards would be a masterclass of double-sidedness where Snoop would not only collab with figures rumored to be behind Tupac's death, but he would go on a lifetime-length tirade of storytelling which time after time would be debunked by verified Tupac comrades.
Yeah, I really don't know why. You know what I mean? He saying these things about Pac.
This would start just weeks after Tupac's death when Snoop would appear on the Steve Harvey Show with Puffy.
We're on my sitcom.
Yes.
And you came on the show with P. Diddy. That was in the middle of that, what they were trying to drum up and create the West Coast, East Coast beef. It was really tense.
Did you have an issue with Snoop hanging out with Diddy after Tupac got killed?
I always felt that was wrong. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm talking about from that. Never really liked it. It just was a strange look because you was Pac boy. You know what I mean? Puffy, you know, it's clear they had some issues with Pac. And Pac died and all of a sudden you chilling with Puffy. Back then it just, okay, now you...
There ain't no East Coast, West Coast beef.
I swear. We ain't coming to talk about nothing behind us. We come to talk about what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
We here to make a difference, you know what I'm saying? So we want y'all to stay in school and keep y'all heads in y'all books.
No doubt. Knowledge is power, y'all.
Snoop's relationship with Puff would only evolve through the years.
Hey, dog, what about the Lakers?
We do agree on.
Yeah.
They don't like Boston, man. That's one thing about us, man. We don't like Boston, man.
That's what you know. We gonna go to the game and bring this thing on home. You know, we the good luck charm.
Yes, sir.
Snoop Dogg edition, nigga, the 70s style, boy. Hold on.
Then somewhere down the line, Calvin Brodus would produce stories that would be challenged by all parties involved, except Tupac, who had passed. For example, Snoop's claim to visit Tupac on his deathbed will be challenged by many.
But Snoop did come on the Friday that Pac died. Know for sure. They came to the house. They should called him that Thursday and told him that Pac wasn't looking good.
And he telling us, you know, Pac gonna be all right. He gonna pull through. You know, he got shot, feeling like it's gonna be all right until we go to the hospital and see that it ain't all right. He got tubes in him, and it's like, when I walked in, I could just feel like he wasn't even there. And I fainted.
I just know for the time that I was there, he must have snuck in. And if I'm saying that I was there and you say that, the stuff that you're saying gotta be true. And if it's not true, I'm gonna say, hey, didn't see you. So no, I didn't see the dog pound. I didn't see Snoop.
And most recently, his story about an encounter between Tupac and Nas would draw criticism.
Pac had seen Nas in the park, and him and Nas had words. But Nas didn't want none. But Nas had 100 niggas with guns.
Right.
With guns.
Right.
By me saying he didn't want none didn't mean he didn't punk out. Because we was in New York in Central Park with 100 goons from New York circle us. That's why Pac is in this nigga ear telling him, song dissing you, Jay-Z, Biggie. I ain't got no problem with you, Pac. All right, nigga, well, if you ain't got no problems with me, nigga, when this song come out, you better not say a more. I love you, Pac. Shook the nigga hand.
It was a respectful meeting. Nas wasn't disrespecting Pac. Pac wasn't disrespecting Nas. Nas walked up with Pac with his homies, and they really spoke like men. And Pac definitely said, once I go back, you know, come back from Vegas, I have songs coming at you, I'm gonna remove the verses.
There was a lot of tension. It was a lot of tension. They was in New York, and it was, you know, their chest was out, they was doing their thing, Death Row signed, so we had to go and step to them. Oh yeah, we had a great convo, man. He was like, you know, I was like, well, I heard you was coming at me. I said, no, it was about you, but I heard you was coming at me, you know, back and forth. And it was like, yo, Nas, we brothers, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so we had a plan to squash it in Vegas. So I was out there when he was in the hospital.
I know
that they both had a civil conversation and they walked away as gentlemen. I don't know about the toughness.
And I hate that y'all keep asking that.
I gotta ask him.
I was sitting right there.
Everybody stood down.
Okay.
Everybody stood down. It was all of us on one side, the Queensbridge guys on the other side, and everybody stood down and let them stand to the side and talk.
The only thing agreed on by almost everyone is that Snoop Dogg's version of the story was completely false.
Snoop was not around. He was not right
No,
there
he wasn't.
in that conversation.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't there because they went to the side and talked.
I heard Snoop told the story a few times, but he had it wrong a little bit. He had said that Pac stepped to me.
Was Snoop Dogg in the area when this happened?
Yeah, maybe like in a corner somewhere, but he wasn't close to where he can understand the talk.
His remarks and actions with Pac would lead to his name being mentioned on a recent diss from Outlaw member Young Noble. The track, although directed toward Nas, Snoop would catch a stray.
Greet you with a stick, nigga. I ain't Snoop, nigga. I don't play the fence, nigga.
Snoop's Tupac relationship can be remembered as tarnished and hard to observe the absolute truth. But it seems that Tupac was not the problem, because the fence-sitting, two-face activities would only continue.
Biggie Smalls, he's an artist that I listen to his music, I love his work. There's no beef, it's nothing personal. I don't hate him and I don't disrespect him and I love what he do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just me, I'm just a smooth, peaceful individual. I don't have beef with nobody right now, baby.
Wasn't Big out at California 3-4 weeks and Snoop never saw him? Snoop never came to smoke nothing with him? Snoop never came to eat nothing with him? But it was a whole lot of love?
Do me one small favor before we continue. Please apply pressure to that subscribe button. Yes, apply pressure to that subscribe button. He played two sides even when it came to the famous Crip walk.
LA, I suggest you get you some history on sleepwalking before you run out there in the streets and, you know what I'm saying, throwing it up and sleepwalking. You might get your whole neck knocked off your shoulder.
This dance that became extremely popular in the 90s, early 2000s had an uptrend of popularity when non-Crips started to do the dance. He famously led a platoon of Crips who campaigned to ensure anyone not officially affiliated with the gang should not perform the dance. This trend did have a break moment in the mid-2000s where a West Coast legend would put out a warning to those who chose to Crip walk with no affiliation. The message was direct, properly presented, and definitely calculated as Snoop would deliver this message on a track with the very man who made it popular, Dub C.
A lot of y'all pretend to wanna see friends with me.
In the 2003 track, In the Name of the Streets, Snoop would pass along this message. He would question the entire hip-hop community on Crip walking.
What you doing, sleepwalking?
Explaining that it's not just a dance, it's a way of living.
It's not just a dance, it's a way of living.
And flat out, you should not be Crip walking if you are not a Crip.
Now, if you're sleepwalking, you're best to see Crippin'.
And that even applies to celebrities too.
And that goes for kids too, and R&B singers. Quit Crip walking if you ain't a gangbanger.
This was all the way up until the movement was met with resistance, of course led by Snoop himself, who had a change of heart and literally at some point started banging on other Crips who didn't like the dance being done by non-Crips.
I mean, you can't get mad at some shit for growing, you know what I'm saying? You gotta respect the game. You know, cause you didn't create it, so it grew to you. So you gotta respect the game and be happy that it's passing on and it's getting universal exposure. And people actually wanna know what the meaning of it is by being out there. You know, by being in your neighborhood, it's only a neighborhood thing. But by it being expanded around the whole world, it's global now. So people can express and understand what you go through. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta look at what it is. It grew from nothing to something. We always hate off the top. Hate. It can't be, they can't be. They can do what the want to do.
To this day, there are many videos of Snoop doing this dance with Hollywood folks. If that level of two-face activities was not enough, there will be more. Snoop surprised many when he went AWOL on fellow Dr. Dre affiliate Eminem. A short beef between the two started when Snoop took a different tone when mentioning the MC.
You've been around a long time. Why don't you have him in your top 10?
Cause there's some in the 80s that he can't with.
Like who?
Like Rakim.
Yes, sir.
Like Big Daddy Kane.
Yes, sir.
Like KRS-One, like LL Cool J. Shall I go on?
Eminem would mention this tone and go straight to recording.
I'm used to people knocking me, but just not in my camp. And diplomatic, cause I'm trying to be lasting.
Snoop would do everything but laugh at this response. Everything meaning months later, of course, he would reveal that he would call Eminem and apologize, admitting he was wrong.
I love Eminem, and the thing is that we love hip-hop so much, we competitive, we battle rappers, so that was supposed to trigger that in him. But we brothers and we family, so we learn to appreciate each other for what we do and how we get down, and we had a long conversation about the respect that we have for each other and the way we need to talk in public about each other. And I felt like I was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I apologized to him and I let him know. And I'm just better at myself, you know what I'm saying? I make mistakes, I ain't perfect, I'm Snoop Dogg.
You know, me and Snoop had our little issue, and then when that thing happened with Dre, the brain aneurysm thing.
Yeah, Dre got sick, and it was a scare for sure.
And we were like, bro, this is stupid. This is stupid as hell to be feuding right now. So I don't remember if I called him or he called me, I can't remember, but
yeah,
we talked it out, and I think that there was a miscommunication at the time in regards to him being on my album, the Mathers LP.
This story will once again repeat itself this past year when he would go viral again, taking a shot at the exuberantly obese Dave Blunt's, roasting him on an IG post. This will be short-lived after Dave Blunt would stop his performance to address the well-known Crip.
That was funny. Go ahead, little homie. I mean, big homie. Do your thing, cuz. I ain't fucking with you. Have your fun. I apologize to this nigga. He's still going off on me, cuz. I must be getting old.
It would not take long for Snoop to once again change the narrative, even to the point where he almost sounded like he was the victim.
Put down the blunt. I can't 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 put down the blunt. Leave me alone, cuz. I'm trying to enjoy my little life over here, man. Go on, keep doing your shows, man. Keep rocking and rolling, man. I'm with you, dog. I ain't against you. I'm with you, man. Do your thing. I can't put down the blunt.
Snoop's fence sitting would finally become a national headline when Kendrick Lamar would place him front and center on his opening track. On Whacked Out Murals, he would mention, "Turn me into an Eskimo, I drew the line in decimals. Snoop posted tailor-made, I pray it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it. It was only right for me to let it go." This would come after Snoop, interestingly enough, would almost vouch for a diss track tailor-made from Drake, where he would use Snoop's AI voice to diss the Compton artist.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure?
These actions would hit hard, being that Snoop was the one who crowned Kendrick the King of the West at the House of Blues.
Watching all this love. It's a beautiful thing, my nigga. You great at what you do. You ain't good at what you do. You great at what you do. And the people out here, they represent and they showing you that. So, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna mean this. Nigga, you got the torch, nigga. You better run with that motherfucker. You better run with it, nigga, because it's yours.
After these lyrics would go viral, Calvin Brodus' second face would emerge, apologizing and agreeing with Mr. Morale. he will once again apologize for his missteps on Bootleg Kev's podcast.
What were your thoughts when you first heard
Man,
that?
that's my nephew, man. He's a rapper, man. He's supposed to speak his mind and tell his truth.
Yeah.
That's the way he felt, you know what I'm saying? And he has the right to say that. I'm his big homeboy, so I have to take what's given to me from his perspective because he's speaking truth.
Yeah.
And the truth shouldn't hurt you, it should make you better. You know what I'm saying? I'm one to accept truth when it's brought to me directly. He feels that I shouldn't have played that. He feels that I shouldn't have played that. Damn, I was on them edibles, my nigga. I gotta be more careful. You right, nephew.
I mean, there was like an AI transposed version of you on that song, which was crazy, right? Like,
yeah.
That shit was diabolically, like, I don't even know, like, one of the weirdest things.
But the crazy part is, I could say it. What had happened was, that's how niggas say it. What had happened was, I did a collaborative post with someone. You played some music. What music? Then I had to go look at I'm like, oh, that's cuz. Damn. So then I deleted it, called nephew, left him a message, because he didn't pick up, he was working on his shit. I left him a message, nephew, this Uncle Snoop. I got the message. I apologize. I was fucked up. My bad.
Truth be told, if you love Snoop, then you must love all the Snoops. The gospel Snoop and the doggy style missionary Snoop. The down south Snoop to the Jamaican Lion of Judah Snoop. The I'm giving up smoking weed Snoop to the nobody Crip walk but everybody Crip walk Snoop. Well, you get the point. Whatever the case, no one can take away the fact that Snoop will go down as not only the West Coast, but one of hip-hop's biggest legends ever to touch the mic. But what will also stick is the pattern that Snoop Dogg was rarely able to choose just one side. Thank you for watching this documentary. And if you really like it, you'll like my other short form and long form documentaries that you can find right here. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxie Approved, right? With that water. I'll see y'all here next time on Moxie Approved.